Hello, today I want to show you different ways that I show students that they can add dimension or layers and make their pages of their art journal more interesting. So I'm going to show you a flip through of mine and some of the techniques that I show students. So one of the things we start with at the beginning of the year is I give them all some paper and some watercolors and some micron pens. I just tell them paint whatever you want. So the thought is that we make a whole bunch of different items that we can cut out and glue into our art journals. This has a different feel, drawing and gluing something in rather than drawing it right onto the page like this. Now, every time I get new watercolors, I like to swatch them. And then that's kind of, why would I want to throw out that paper? That looks really cool. So I always save these little swatches here and I use them in my art journal. This is also a really great technique to show students because let's say they finish a page early. They'll always have something to do. Tell them, get some paper out, get some watercolors. Start painting a whole bunch of stuff that you can cut out and glue into your journal later. Yeah, I have some more swatches in here. Also, these little pages that I had sewn into my art journal while I was putting the pages in do make the pages more interesting. Pockets. This is a candy bar wrapper. And I've got a little tag in here that of course has more swatches. But having your journal be interactive is really fun. And that one's all about swatching. Here's another flip through page. I love asking the photo teacher if she has any negatives that are left behind or any test strips or contact sheets. Kids love using those in their art journals as well. Here's a little envelope. This little sun here, it's a little door or flap. This is really interesting too, the building the layers. Underneath this writing here, this page is about horses. I've got the dictionary page for the horse. I glued that down and then I did my writing right on top of vellum and glued that vellum right on top of the dictionary page so you could see both of them. I like being able to see the two layers like that. Here's some more items that were glued in and cut out. I have a page where I have the students have to incorporate something from nature, so they have to go outside and find something that they can glue right into their art journals. So this was my nature inspiration. And then I had this drawing that I had done for something else that I glued right in over top of the pages. Here's another envelope. Another envelope. Also, you'll see here, this is, let's see, a book page with graphene paper over the top of this. This is parchment paper from when I was drying out strawberries in a dehydrator. And then with vellum right over the top of that. So that's really 4 layers. Gives you really good depth. These are things, I think I bought some watercolors and this is how they were wrapped. I always keep everything so I can glue it right into my art journal. This is a scrap hole punch here. I was cutting out black circles for something and I thought that this was still really interesting. Here's a Converse sneaker that I drew and then again glued right into my sketchbook. A separate little piece of art that I decided I didn't really like anymore, but could still be used in my art journal. These are little houses that I cut out. I love having a whole bunch of cutout stuff. This is another pocket for writing. This is actually from the back of an old library book. This is where the library cards would go. This is a paper weaving. So I'll talk about paper weaving. Then I'll show them how to weave things right into their journal or separately and then cutting them out and gluing them in their journal. Some more glued in, cut out stuff. All right, let me open up my other journal. See if there's different. I love building up the layers in the backgrounds. Some more swatches. I've got this tree. I always have a sketchbook going that I have stuff drawn into that I can just cut out. That way, if I have my sketchbook with me and I'm feeling the need to make some art, I can take that out. Some bubble wrap in here. This is silhouetting. I talked to them about how we can have like a really colorful background and then draw right over the top of it so you can see the colors through, but we can dull it down a little bit and make something different. Let me see. Oh, this is another one. We talked about the cut edge of a paper. You can see I used some fun scissors on this one. This is another envelope in here. This one I've done some sewing. I think I sewed this right on the sewing machine, then glued it in. Some more cut out. I think there's another one in here. Oh, there's another envelope. Okay, this is the other one I wanted to show you. I show students that they can cut a window, and then that, whatever they have behind this window, is now part of their next page. And then I glued this right in, so it has something to do with this page as well. So you can tie these pages together. And I like to use a lot of envelopes, so I'm going to show you different items that we can use as envelopes. So I've got a stack here. Doesn't have to be just a plain envelope, which you can use, but other things can be envelopes too. So here's a tea bag. And this is really nice because it has the fold over top like this. I think that's a great envelope, and you can put little notes and little writing or little secrets in there. There's another kind of tea. If you just rip off the top, you glue this in, you've now got a pocket. You can drink the tea if you'd like. There's also these little, this is like a craft envelope here. I also have some Velcro available, so they can either put like a sticker here. If they want to put a little piece of Velcro there, they can to hold it closed. You really don't even need to do anything to hold them closed. This is, I ordered some watercolors, so I keep these. As you can tell, I keep everything. Here's a little bag that I cut something in. This is also a great envelope. Some more watercolors. Thank you for your support. So a little bag. Not even sure what that's from. They also have these sheets that you can buy. These are actually stickers. So you can stick right into your art journal. And they are vellum paper envelopes. This one's got some buttons holding it closed. I don't think I bought those. I probably got those donated from somewhere. There's another one. This one's really cool because it's clear. You can see right through it. This is just a regular little yellow manila envelope. This one's also neat because it's clear. Candy wrappers. These are my favorite candy bars. You'll see these a lot. But candy bars are really great envelopes. Popcorn container. Glue this in. This can now be a pocket. This had some kind of instructions in it, but I like the K on here. You can also, of course, use a plain envelope if you'd like. It's a different kind of popcorn bag, which I thought would be fun. Then there's always the Starbucks bags you can use as well. Any bags. Start keeping everything. So these are a lot of things that I just throw into a bin, and I have them sitting in my classroom for my students to pull through when they're looking for a little envelope or just something fun to add dimension into their art journals. All right, I want to show you what I share with my students about having a sketchbook or some kind of place that you can just start doing some mini paintings in, and having elements that you can already done that you can just cut out and glue right into your art journal. So I've got some watercolor, different leaves in here. I also have a ton of these. I like working with the black and white. You can go back in and add watercolor depending on where you're using them. And this is just my sketchbook that I just have a whole bunch of stuff going. Words are really fun to have and to cut out. So I've done pages of words and different drawings. These are just my black and white ones here. And then I have a lot to cut out. Kind of make my hands hurt, so I don't cut them all out until I know I'm ready to use them. Then I also have, so maybe if I'm sitting around watching TV, I'll just start cutting them out. And I have an envelope just sitting here with a whole bunch of these black and white ones. So these are the black and white. Now let me show you some of the ones I've been doing in watercolor. Like I've said before, I enjoy swatching, so I have a ton of swatches in here. And then I also love rainbows. So I've done pages of watercolor rainbows. I've done trees. I've done some stamp carvings and cut them out here. I've got words, some more swatches. I just have an entire bin of these. So when I'm ready, I can just find something that I want to use and pull it right out. These are great to have around. Great enrichment activity. Oh, you're done with your page? Go ahead. Start making some stuff to glue into your art journal. I've got houses. I've also got these blank. Sometimes I'll just do these blank swatches so I can glue things right on top of them. Be like this and arrange them. What else do I have in here? Got some black and white drawings. I did a couple of hands I thought would be fun to add in. So I give all my students an envelope, and they can just keep all of this in their envelopes. Some leaves, some more of these colored backgrounds. Here's some more of the watercolor leaves that I had in my sketchbook. Maybe you have students that like drawing cartoons or people. These would be great little drawings, little black and white drawings of people, or really anything that they enjoy. This should be a reflection of them. What do they like? Obviously, you can tell. I like color swatches and rainbows. I've got a bird there. Some flowers. Anything that they want. Have them go on YouTube. Watch some videos on painting some watercolor items. Anything. This is going to make their pages go by quicker also. That's something else I let them know. Well, if you have a whole bunch of these done already, when you're going to make your pages, you can just start adding them and gluing them in. You don't have to worry about saying, oh, I want to paint a leaf to glue here. No, you already have one. So pick from what you have already. So then I'll give them a big envelope, and sometimes they have those sitting right in the back of their art journals, and they can just pull right out and find something when they're creating their journal pages.